What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome, everybody. Welcome if you're on TikTok. Welcome if you're on YouTube. So today I did something a little bit different. I try to bring everybody in from TikTok and YouTube. Maybe I might do it live on IG. Maybe, uh, yeah. If I get some things situated, I might do it that way. Hey, if you're on YouTube, check out the links below in the description. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell. If you're on TikTok, man, just man, become a friend, just follow me. I'll try to follow you back. um I don't try to, I'm not the guy that just, everybody follow me and I don't try to follow you back. So hey, follow me back. All right, y'all. So today, it's been a crazy week. Last week, Kevin Samuels passed away. It was a heart attack. We found out he was complaining about chest pains. He was with a young lady, and he was complaining about chest pains and everything. And sub subsequently, he passed away. Um, Rest in peace. Uh, they called him the Godfather. He was part of the Manosphere. If you don't know anything about the Manosphere, uh, it's an offshoot of the Red Pill movement. It's a it's basically a lot of men really talking about building and really fighting, I guess, against what we call today feminism. And it's not saying that feminism is wrong or anything. I guess it's what they're trying to say is that there's there's certain boundaries. I guess I don't know. I have to look more into it, but I'm guessing that they're fighting against what's been advertised as feminism. I guess that's probably a better explanation of it. They're fighting against what has been categorized or what's been advertised to people as feminism. Um, Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with women's rights or women having equal rights as men. As far as we're talking about in a job place, making money and all that kind of thing, all those kind of things. No. So yeah, as far as that's concerned, I don't think there's a problem with uh with that is concerned. But I think where the issue comes in is when we start tying in all these other extra uh things. And I think the manosphere focus mostly on is is holding women accountable for their actions. And when they're wrong, holding women accountable. And I know Kevin Samuels, he talked a lot about holding women accountable. In fact, I've even heard him say that he shouldn't be talking to women. He said that himself, that it should be women talking to women about holding women should be holding other women accountable. And we think about it, we don't see that too much in our society. A lot of women, if they see another woman doing wrong or saying something wrong, they just kind of, well, they kind of, a lot of women are afraid to hold other women accountable, um, um, out of fear of, I guess, other women. I'm guessing, or fear of being criticized by other women. But going back to the Kevin Samuels situation, uh, yeah, Kevin Samuels, again, he passed away. And I'm gonna be honest, the rhetoric behind it is has really been kind of eating at me a little bit. The rhetoric behind his death, and uh uh it's really been disheartening. I said that if you go look at one of my other YouTube videos, the last YouTube video that I made, I did talk about it. Talk about some of the stuff that I heard online by a lot of women and some men too. So it's not just women. A- And it's just been crazy. You know, there's been people celebrating his death and stuff like that. And I just thought that that was disgusting. But hey, welcome, 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 welcome. Um, and don't forget, like and subscribe if you're here or follow me. All right. So yeah, it's just been interesting to watch. I don't know if there's any plans for his funeral. Uh but yeah, I haven't heard anything about plans for his burial, his funeral, or anything like that. I've seen a lot of people step up and uh talk and try to defend Kevin. uh he's at a point where he of course he's gone now, so he can't defend himself. But his if you watch a lot of his old videos, I mean, he basically defends it's all he defends himself, because there's a lot of people that really think that he hated women and that he was anti-woman and always just wanted to put women down. And that's not the case at all. If you've been watching him, if you've really been watching him for a long time, if you really watch his videos, then you know he has more videos on men. He started talking to men first. He was talking to men first for 5 years. He was talking to men for 5 years prior to him talking to women. So for 5 years, there's 5 years worth of content on YouTube right now of him talking to men, and he didn't hold back. He grilled men even harder than women. And I've seen some of those videos. I've seen, and they're hours. His show is like an hour or so long. So you'll find shows of him grilling men, I mean, going tooth and nail on men really hard. So it's not like it's not like he was just one-sided and everything was on the woman and all that kind of stuff. He didn't start talking to women until what, early COVID, somewhere around early COVID. I said, so it's only been maybe less than 3 years, like 2.5 years. He's been talking to women. He started talking to women. And that's where he started getting all the attention. He started getting all the attention when he started talking to women. Nobody really was paying attention to him when he was talking to men, grilling men hard, and going in and telling them, hey, you got to get your act together. Hey, you can't be doing this. You can't think that you're going to get married and you don't have this, and this together. And how you going to marry a woman and you don't have your life together? And you trying to start a business and you're trying to do this and doing that. I mean, you can watch the videos. He got It's hours and hours, 5 years worth of videos of him talking to men and telling men to get their act together. So, 2 years, 2.5 years ago from today, or maybe 3 years from now, he started talking to women, and then he had one video that went viral called called what was it called? Average is best at best. I'm sorry, average at best. And he was talking to a woman who was a entrepreneur. I think she owned some kind of pet company or something. I don't know what. I think she did pet grooming or something like that. But she made, she was making a little money. She was making about $100,000 a year with her company and was doing kind of well for herself. But she was having problems as far as in her love life and finding a man that she felt was on her level. And um and uh he was explaining to her how how her her outlook on her desires of what she wanted isn't equal to what the man she's looking for wants. So the type of man that she's looking for would not necessarily be interested in her. And that was kind of the gist of it. And he, just broke it down as far as her physical looks and all that. That she and actually the girl rated herself. He asked the girl, hey, what on a scale to uh to 1 to 10, you can't use 7. He always said that to every woman. You can't use 7 because a lot of everybody uses 7. What would you rate yourself from 1 to 10? You can't use 7. And she said 5, I think. Either 5 or 6. I think she said 5. She rated herself as a 5. And if you look at her, yeah, I mean, physically, she was about a 5'4". You know, she wasn't like the prettiest woman ever, but she wasn't, I wouldn't say she was ugly or anything. She could probably find somebody, you know what I'm saying? But that I she felt that because she made all this money that's why a man would want to be with her. Hey Hill, I think that's your name. Hey, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Welcome. So she rated herself as a 5, and so he agreed with her. He agreed with her, and he said, "Okay, you're a 5. So why would a man that's a 10, or a man that's a high value man that's making $100,000 just like you, if a man is making an equal amount of money as you, why would he pick you? He would want to, a guy who's making that kind of money, that's making the same amount of money, is going to want somebody who's more beautiful. He's going to want to find somebody who's more beautiful, and he's not going to care how much money she makes. In fact, he might choose somebody who makes less money. Most men rather choose a woman who makes less money than them. Uh, but that's not what we don't really care about, what a woman makes for the most part. That's what he was just saying in that episode. So that episode went viral, and he did kind of go off on her a little bit, and he was very brutal and very blunt. But I think why it went viral is because nobody really heard a man speak to a woman like that. See, in his previous videos for the past 5 years, when he was talking to men, he talked exactly the same way. He never pulled any punch, he never held back. He always said what was on his mind. He always was very direct. He was always, when he talked to men, he would tell men to get their act together. He would actually go in and dig in on them too. But because it was a woman that he spoke to like that, um, it wasn't acceptable. A lot of women were very outraged. I remember that. In fact, that's how I found out about Kevin Samuels. Previously, before this, I didn't know anything about him. Uh, I saw the video. I saw the clip first. That's what I saw. That was what was being uh, passed around, was the clip. And I saw the clip, and I was just more like, wow, this is crazy. But at the same time, he didn't say anything that I didn't hear before. You know what I mean? And I guess as a man, I grew up hearing other men talk like that. When you go to the barber shop or different places, when women aren't around, men will talk like that. If a woman comes in the presence, we tone it down a lot of times. And I think women are used to men toning it down when they come around. uh and we do that not to offend them. We don't want to offend women. Most men don't want to offend women. Most men, uh and that's one reason why, to be honest, a lot of men lie to women, because we don't want to offend them and we don't want to hurt their feelings, because the last thing we want to be around is a crying female or a crying woman. That's something. Even, I don't lie to women, but you know that's just something we hate. We hate being around women and children who are crying and all that kind of stuff. Because it makes men feel awkward. It's just an awkward feeling being around crying. We don't accept it if it's another man crying around us either. You know what I mean? It's just an awkward feeling, because it's just something we're not going to console. We don't feel like, it's just weird trying to console somebody and all that kind of stuff. That's a weird feeling. So going back to Kevin Samuels. So that video went viral and everything, and that's how I found out about him through that video. After that, I started watching and looking into his older videos and trying to find out more about him. That's how I found out about him talking to the men. Uh, but most people didn't do that. Most people just look at the clips and they just see all the parts where he's, amped up and he's he's going in digging hard. And we got to understand, all right, the show was supposed to be him giving truth to women. That's part one. That was part of it. The second part of the show, part of it was entertainment. He was entertaining, and he knew he was being watched by a lot of people. So there's this part of the show where he's he is being more animated because he's entertaining people. So I think there's a part where we have to understand that too, understand that dynamic too, where some of it was just entertainment, some of it and it's a mixture of him entertaining people and then a mixture of him being extremely honest and letting people know, you know, letting them hear what they need to hear. um, hey, how you doing? Leslie Love, I think that's your name. 641, how you doing? I just wanted to give you a shout out. But going back, yeah, so as far as this whole thing where men tone down, I really wanted to talk about men toning down when women come around and why we do that, because a lot of women aren't used to men speaking, being direct with them and speaking and being honest with them, totally honest with them. And I really had to think about that and think about why men actually don't aren't honest with women and aren't very direct with women, but we're direct with each other. And it really comes down to, I think somewhere deep down, men don't equally respect women. And I want to, and that's something I really had to think about. And we don't see them as equals, and that's why we tone it down when they come around, because we don't see them as 100% equals, if that's going to be the honest truth. And you even I mean, it's not out of, we don't necessarily do it out of respect for women. We see them, I think a lot of times men see women just kind of similar to how 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 we see children as far as emotionally. Now women are very mature, women mature earlier than men, of course. But just like women see men as children in some aspects, there's an aspect of which men see women as children as well. Um, as far as emotionally taking things emotionally and not able to handle certain truths. So I think to an extent, there's an inequality in which we communicate. We say that women are equal. We say that men and women are equal, but it doesn't show up in how we treat each other. Equality isn't there when and socially when we treat each other. It's not there because men treat women very much different. Um, there's a difference in respect between how men look at each other and how men look at women. So that's one thing I think, and I think it's something that's just deep down inside. Is a real internal thing because, like, even when you look at, all right, we have a lot of men who grew up in single parent homes. If you look at boys who grow up in single parent homes and it's only their mom, at a certain age, you could tell that's when that at a certain age, if you look at young guys in the street, hey, what's up, DJ Mark? Hey, what's up? Komar, man, y'all gotta forgive me, man. I can't read. I can, but that's a long word. But yo, man, welcome, man. I really appreciate it. But if you look at guys, young guys that are running in the street right now, and you know that, and their moms are always trying to, a lot of times they give up at a certain point, but mothers trying to keep their sons off the street and they having a hard time because their sons are just going to do what they want to do, is because they're deep down there's a lack of respect for women that's there. They don't they they see weakness in their mom, and so they go to the street and they look for strength out there because they that's why their moms can't really uh uh their moms can't really tell them anything to a certain degree, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that this applies to all young boys, because there's a lot of young boys that respect and love their moms and that aren't running in the streets. So I'm not talking about that. What I'm saying, I'm just using that as an example. Um, at a certain age, you know, it's hard for a mother to tell their young adolescent son anything, because at that point he feels like he's the man of the house, and he feels, and in some degrees, in some families, a young adolescent boy is the man of the house, and sometimes he is the one that's you know, uh, bringing in money, and he's the financial support of the family. That's a reality. So the reality there is a reality of young boys uh, becoming breadwinners at a very young age. Um, if I look at even my grandfather, he was a breadwinner at a very young age. um, in fact, my great grandmother, which is his mom, I got a chance to meet her. But he had his relationship with his mom was very much almost like his daughter. He treated his mom like his daughter almost, which is a very weird, a weird situation and a weird position to be in, and very weird to see that a man would treat his mom like his daughter, or somebody, like that. But I'm digressing a whole lot. I didn't want to say all that, but yeah. So this whole going back to Kevin Samuels and the whole the whole idea that he hated women, and the whole idea that that he thought very low of women. No, I think what he did was he put a mirror in front of women's face, and made women look at themselves, and made women look at the things that they want, and how it does a lot of the desires that a lot of women want today aren't equal. It's just not, it just doesn't balance out, it doesn't add up to what's practical, you know and I think that's what I think a lot of women resent him for, is because he's telling a lot of women, you can't have it all. You can't have everything you want in life. Life is about trade-offs. Life is about yeah, literally about trade-offs, You can't have everything. If you want something, you're risking you're trading it all for something else. You can't have everything, because men don't even get everything we want. We don't get everything we want. So that's my spill for today. Check me out if you're on TikTok. Check out my YouTube. If you're on YouTube, check out my TikTok. I got my links on all the pages. So if you're on YouTube, check out the description below. Hit that bell. Follow me, everybody. I'll follow back, and um, love you, and see you next time.